Always so strange and sobering. And I'm going to use that often overused word surreal on a bright sunny day to be confronted with the horrors of the past. Another one of those spaceship-shaped buildings. I sneaked back into the big park, which seemed as though it was really set up for children and youth. So I stepped out of the park at that point. And what have we discovered here? I hear some sweet singing. Whether it's somebody's radio or performers actually practicing. Kino koncertni sal Raducha. There's a songstress inside. Look what I found. This is a big park. Like sort of miniature world. Buildings from the city of Venezia or the region. Anything looking familiar? Yeah. I could pretend I'm filming the planetarium building, but actually, you know, my attention was really taken by that lovely looking camper van. Venezia in a nutshell. A monument to those who lost their lives in Afghanistan. I've come out of the park. Looks as though there's plenty more to see and visit. So if I'm here, there's a pension fund building there and a Philharmonia building there. The tall building is the pension fund building and the low building is the Philharmonia, if you feel like listening to some classical music. And more monuments in the park opposite us. That was the Afghanistan monument. So over there are some more monuments. Worth taking a look? You betcha. Vasily Semenovich Stus. (1932–1933), the second Holodomor, which took place in Ukraine. Ukrainians would call it the second genocide, instigated out of Moscow. Russians would say, hey, it was just a bad harvest. And the people in the cities needed to eat too. But tell that to the families of the hundreds of thousands, maybe millions, who starved to death in Ukraine. The sun is so bright I can hardly see what's actually on the screen. Obviously a new construction, but I rather like the look of it. Even a nice looking little toilet. Why not? Because you never know when the next opportunity might arise. And if you're walking out all day, you don't want to get caught short somewhere embarrassing, do you? Yeah, you can try and head for one of those fancy big shopping malls. But what if you've reached a location where there's no big fancy shopping mall and there's just greenery? I think we know what happens then. On those occasions, you find yourself trying your best to be discreet, but as soon as you start to try and pee, a nun on a bicycle suddenly appears out of nowhere. Anyway, enough of those horror stories. This immediately casts my mind back to Khmelnytsky, you may remember. Very similar pillar and artwork and language. 1915 to 2015. I didn't know then what it was about, and I still don't know. Genocide, vermin, genocide in 1915. Is this talking about the genocide allegedly committed by the Turks? But if that was the case, what would it be doing here in Ukraine? Because that was allegedly against the Armenian people, wasn't it? Don't know. I really need to spend more time looking things up on Google. I have to say, I'm very glad that I took the trouble to cross the road. There we have the Philharmonia building. Plenty of people's faces on notice boards outside in the grounds, and these notice boards are very much of a period, aren't they? There's the pension fund building, and here a slightly disappointing mosaic, I'd have to say. I was hoping for more. I do like my mosaics. Last night, you know, I had one of those recurring bouts of stomach pain. I haven't had them too often on this trip in recent times, but just to remind me, whatever the mysterious cause is, that lingers. Whether it's old bad bacteria, which is still hanging on, or I don't know what else it could be. I also had something very strange. It's been a while since I fell on my chin. That should have healed up nicely by now. And for 3 weeks, no pain. In fact, I didn't really have pain when the incident happened. No sense, no feeling. You know the saying. But last night, or rather early hours of this morning, I had some stinging sensation actually right where the wound was. There are no stitches. It should have healed up. I didn't do anything to aggravate the area. Bit of a mystery. A bit of jip, which might just occur from time to time, I suppose. Where next? Or is that our lot? Looks like somebody's taken the idea from a Banksy, doesn't it? So what are you thinking? An aberration? I kind of like it. I like what I see anyway. We're out of the centre now in Venezia, way west of the centre, but still finding some interesting curiosities, at least for me, and I'm enjoying the walkies, but then of course I always do. I hope you are. If you're not, you know what? You can get your own back by not liking the video and not subscribing. There, that'll teach me. I was just kidding, you know. We need those likes and subscriptions. Although we're a little way out of the centre, the trams are still running. Oh, and there's civilization because there's an ATV market here as well. And that spells civilization, doesn't it? When there isn't a Silpo. Oh, hello. What's that? That's going to keep you watching the video, isn't it? Isn't it? Obviously some kind of purge that took place in Venezia under the communists back in the late 1930s. Let's go and check out the Kladbisha cemetery. I think in Ukrainian the word might be svintar. Although when I was talking to the military police asking for a bit of help yesterday, they used the word Kladbisha, but of course there's going to be some crossover between the Russian and Ukrainian language, and certain words will have just become so commonplace that they're still used in casual conversation, like da instead of tak, and maybe Kladbisha instead of svintar is another example. And only 36. So many portraits etched into the marble. Some very tempting looking. Are they cranberries? I always want to try these fruits, but I know it's not advisable. Butterflies and bees. got a long walk back to the ranch. It's a Gladbisher tap. It's a Gladbisher tack. English, Russian and Ukrainian in one sentence. Another unpaid extra in another episode of the Walkie Talkie Traveller channel, and it's Ukrainian Diaries here in Venetia on this occasion. But until the next time, over and out, adios, tschüss, hola, and arrivederci. Oh, don't forget to like and subscribe, if I may be so bold. Bold.